Welcome students to this new video on differentiation for the class 12 students of maths. We are solving the examples from the exercise 1.2. Today we shall discuss the questions from question number 8. These questions are of type differentiate with respect to x, then the function cos inverse of, you can see the bracket, a cos x plus b sin x divided by root a square plus b square, or even in the second expression you can see just one change, cos inverse replaced by sin inverse, otherwise the expression inside is the same. These a, b and root a square b square are related terms. For example, this is c, sin inverse of 4 is a, 3 is b, a square plus b square, 16 plus 9, 25, and root of 25 will be 5. Here also a and b in this case is 5 and 3. Just ignore this minus sign. This negative sign doesn't matter. What is important is the value of a and b irrespective of the sign. 5 square 25, 3 square 9, 25 plus 9 34, and root of 34, that is root of a square plus b square. In the last example you can see cosec inverse. Now here is that slight arrangement required. Cosec inverse of anything, cosec inverse of a upon b for in general is written as sin inverse of b upon a. So I may write this as sin inverse of what? Sin inverse of 6 cos x minus 8 sin x divided by 10. Now it looks like the earlier type formula. Sin inverse of a is 6, b is 8, 6 square is 36, 8 square is 64. Add them, you get 100. 100's root is 10. So in this manner, this fits in this formula also. So let us solve a few of these examples. So let's start with the first example. This is this first example. Pi is equal to sin inverse of 4 cos x plus 3 sin x upon 5. Now you can write this as y is equal to sin inverse of, see, write this 4 cos x upon pi separately and 3 sin x upon pi separately. So I can write it as 4 upon 5 cos x plus second term will be after separating 3 upon 5 sin x. Now this 4 upon 5, this and this 3 upon 5, they are related. If you put 4 upon 5 as sin alpha, it's a constant, so I can consider that it as sin alpha or any other constant. So let's put sin alpha is equal to 4 upon 5. If you do that, then cos alpha is going to be equal to root of 1 minus sin square alpha, which is equal to root of 1 minus, what is your sin alpha? It's 4 by pi. So 4 by pi square. Just calculate these values and you will find it equal to 3 by 5. Is that right? See this? So if you take 4 by 5 as cos alpha, 3 by 5 comes out equal to sin alpha. If you put 4 by pi as cos alpha, this will be sin alpha. If you put this as sin alpha, 4 by pi as sin alpha, then 3 by 5 will be cos alpha. So vice versa, these two can be found from the other, one from the other. Now after finding these two and confirming they are found, you can find tan alpha from them. Tan alpha is equal to sin alpha upon cos alpha, which is equal to sin alpha is 4 by pi. That's there. Divided by cos alpha is 3 by pi, which is also found. So you get 4 by 3 as tan alpha. Therefore alpha is equal to tan inverse of alpha, therefore is equal to tan inverse of 4 by 3, We shall require this later, so I shall keep it for a while as it is. Now start with this expression now. Y therefore is equal to sine inverse of 4 by 5 written as sine alpha into cos x plus, this is what I have written, sin y is equal to, this expression is what is going to be written in this step. So keep an eye on this. Y is equal to sine alpha, which is 4 by 5, into cos x plus 3 by pi is cos alpha into 3 by 5 is cos alpha into sine x. Now look at this expression, sine a cos b plus cos a sine b, isn't it? Sine alpha cos x plus cos alpha sine x. That is sine of a plus b means alpha plus x. So this will be written as sine inverse of a plus b, in this case is alpha plus x, which means it is equal to just alpha plus x. You know that sine inverse of sine x is x. So sine inverse of sine of alpha plus x is just alpha plus x. Now here we have to write that alpha's value which we had found earlier. This is what is alpha, tan inverse of 4 by 3. Tan inverse of 4 by 3 and plus x doesn't change. This is y. So look at this expression y in two ways. Y originally like this like this. This was the original value of y or original expression for y. Now see how it is written. This is y written in the simple form. Is that simple? This is a simple, surely. Because after this, what we do is differentiate with respect to x. Differentiating this expression is quite difficult. Differentiating this expression is very easy. Because now, in this differentiation step, we'll have to deal with some simple expressions. So what we get is, after differentiation, dy by dx is equal to d by dx of tan inverse 4 by 3. D by dx of tan inverse 4 by 3 is 0, because normally tan inverse x's derivative is 1 upon 1 plus x square is what comes to our mind while finding this derivative. But remember, tan inverse 4 by 3 is a constant, and therefore constant's derivative is 0. Plus derivative of x is 1. Normally students make mistake by writing the derivative of this term as 1 upon 1 plus 16, 1 upon 1, 16 by 9. So that's wrong. So remember, you shouldn't make that mistake. So come to this point now, plus 1, and therefore dy by dx is equal to 1. Normally, the derivatives of such expressions, means the expressions of this type, which we have seen, these expressions, their derivative either plus 1 or minus 1. So what we found in this example was 1. dy by dx is equal to 1. Now, I'll talk about the choice of sine alpha here. Had I chosen this 4 by 5 as cos alpha, suppose I had chosen this as cos alpha, then I would have found this as sine alpha. Then this sine alpha upon cos alpha would have been 3 by pi upon 4 by pi. That would have become 3 by 4. This would have become 3 by 4. This would have been different. Now tan inverse 4 by 3 would have become tan inverse 4 by 3. Sorry, tan inverse 3 by 4. It would have become tan inverse 3 by 4. Tan inverse 3 by 4. Then we would have found this as sine alpha and cos alpha. Now going to be cos alpha and sine alpha. This would have been cos alpha and this would have been sine alpha, because cos alpha is 4 by 5. So then cos A, cos B plus sin A, sin B. Another formula is there. So you would have used another formula, which is cos of a plus b, or cos of a minus b in this case. Cos a cos b plus sin a sin b is cos of a minus b, means it would have been cos of alpha minus x, isn't it? So sin inverse of cos of alpha minus x would have been the case. Now we are happy to solve sin inverse of sin of something. Sin inverse of cos of something is asked, then we make a small change. Sin inverse can't be changed. What you can change is this cos of alpha minus x could be written as sine of pi by 2 minus alpha minus x. This is what you would have written, which gives us sine inverse of I'll repeat that step, pi by 2 minus alpha minus x, alpha plus x would have been alpha minus x, which becomes sine inverse of sine of that bracket is that bracket. So it would have become pi by 2 minus alpha minus x, which if you solve it will be pi by 2 minus alpha plus x. This is why, and if you differentiate, the derivatives will give you dy by dx is equal to pi by 2 0 minus alpha is a constant, alpha is a tan inverse 4 by the derivative 0, and plus x's derivative is 1. So it would have been the same answer, 0 minus 0 is 0 plus 1. So if you make those changes, in place of sin alpha, which I used in the beginning, if I make the change as cos alpha, this will be sin alpha, and therefore you use the formula cos alpha cos x plus sin alpha sin x, means it will be cos of alpha minus x, and therefore we have to write in terms of sine of something. That makes it a little bit lengthier. Therefore choose it properly. If it is sine inverse of something to begin with, then try to get sine cos combination. And if you have cos inverse of this bracket, then put this as cos alpha. So it is sine inverse kind of example. So I wrote this, I tried to get sine cos combination, and then it will be cos sine. But if it is cos inverse of something, I would put this as cos alpha, so that I'll get this as sine alpha, and I'll get cos cos plus sine combination, which is useful in the further calculations. So even if you make the wrong choice, still you get the answer correctly. Wrong in the sense the other choice, I mean. Consider this new example. Differentiate with respect to x, y is equal to sec inverse of 10 upon 6 cos x minus 8 sin x. Now this example is slightly different because we don't have cos inverse or sin inverse. We have sec inverse here. So what we shall do is we shall convert this into cos inverse at first. That's the first thing I have to do. If you write sec inverse as cos inverse, you have to write the terms inside the bracket. 6 cos x minus 8 sin x upon 10. Basic formula is there. Sec inverse a upon b is cos inverse b upon a. Cosec inverse a upon b is sin inverse b upon a. So we did like this. Then we can separately write cos inverse of 6 upon 10 into cos x minus 8 upon 10 into sin x. This is y again. Now we shall substitute 6 upon 10 either as sin alpha. If you write 6 upon 10 as sin alpha, then 8 upon 10 will be cos alpha. So see how it looks. Sin alpha cos x minus cos alpha sin x, which is sin of alpha minus x. Cos inverse of sin of alpha minus x will not work. So instead of sin alpha, write it as cos alpha. So this will be sin alpha. Now see how it looks. Cos alpha cos x minus sin alpha sin x, which is cos of alpha plus x. cos inverse of cos of alpha plus x will work, and therefore we shall put 6 by 10 as cos alpha. So making those changes now, write 6 upon 10 as cos alpha. So put cos alpha is equal to 6 upon 10. Therefore sin alpha is equal to, it's going to be 8 upon 10, but show it. Solve the expression and find out its value. Formula is sin alpha is equal to root of 1 minus cos square alpha, which is root of 1 minus cos alpha is 6 by 10, square is 36 upon 100, which is equal to square root of 100 minus 36 is 64 upon 100, which is square root of 64 by 100 means 8 upon 10. This is sin alpha. Therefore tan alpha is found as sin alpha upon cos alpha, which is equal to sin alpha is 8 upon 10 divided by cos alpha is 6 upon 10, and if you cancel this 10 you'll get 8 upon 6, which is 4 upon 3. So tan alpha is 4 upon 3, so alpha is equal to tan inverse of 4 upon 3. So this is the first part of the answer. Now we shall write y in terms of alpha and x. This was our original y. This was our original y. We shall write this expression here as y is equal to cos inverse as it is of 6 upon 10 is cos alpha into cos x as it is, then minus 8 upon 10 is sin alpha into sin x. That means it is equal to cos inverse of cos A cos B minus sin A sin B is cos of A plus B. So cos of alpha plus x, which is cos inverse of cos of alpha plus x. It means simply alpha plus x. This is y, which means y is equal to alpha is this value of alpha, tan inverse 4 by 3 and plus x as it is. So this is the value of, this is the expression for y we have got, which is very simple one as compared to its original form. This was our original y, and now we have got it like this. So differentiating this is quite difficult. This is not going to be difficult at all. Now because this quantity tan inverse 4 by 3 is a constant and x's derivative is known to you, so that's why this will become very simple when differentiation will be done. So differentiating with respect to x now, differentiating with respect to x, we get dy by dx is equal to derivative of tan inverse 4 by 3 is 0, constant derivative, plus derivative of x is 1. So in turns it becomes just 1. Dy by dx is equal to 1. So in this manner we can solve the question which begins with sec inverse or cosec inverse. We convert it in terms of sin inverse or cos inverse and then use the regular steps. Understood? 2 root 13, these numbers if you check, 3 square 9, 2 square 4, 9 plus 4 13, root of a square plus b square is root of 13, which is okay. So the type is almost applicable. This type change is there. We used to have the examples where we had a cos x. In place of this x, in this example we have e raised to x here. See what we have different in this example is e raised to x in place of x. So still doesn't make too much a difference. I'll solve it in the same manner. So write the steps. I would not explain too much now. It is cos inverse 3 by root 13 into cos of e raised to x plus 2 by root 13 into sine of e raised to x. In place of x we have e raised to x. That's the only difference. Now, as we discussed in the type, we will write this 3 by root 13 as either sine alpha or cos alpha. What would you choose here? This is cos inverse outside, so choose cos combination. So this is cosine, so I need another cosine, so cos plus this will be sine. So instead of having sine alpha as 3 by root 13, put cos alpha. So cos alpha is equal to 3 by root 13. That's what we shall put. So put cos alpha is equal to 3 by root 13. Therefore, sin alpha is equal to, just you have to write these steps. Can't write it too directly. It's 1 minus cos square alpha, which is sorted out and written as 1 minus cos square alpha means 3 by root 13 square is 9 by 13, and if you still calculate it, 13 minus 9 is 4 by 13, root of 4 by 13 is 2 by root 13. So it gives us gives us tan alpha is equal to sin alpha upon cos alpha. Sin alpha is 2 by root 13 upon cos alpha is 3 by root 13. So after cancellation of root 13 you get 2 by 3, and therefore tan alpha is equal to 2 by 3, and therefore alpha is equal to tan inverse of 2 by 3, which we shall require in the end. So now let us, therefore y is equal to cos inverse of, so this expression we are taking here, so y is equal to cos inverse of 3 by root 13 is cos alpha into cos e raised to x plus 2 by root 13 is sin alpha into sin e raised to x. I have to make this arrangement, this adjustment here, which is then equal to cos inverse of, read this, cos A cos B plus sin A sin B is equal to cos of A minus B. So it is going to be cos of alpha minus e raised to x, not x in this case, it's alpha minus e raised to x, which is equal to cos inverse of cos of alpha minus e raised to x is just alpha minus e raised to x, which is alpha means tan inverse 2 by 3 minus e raised to x. Therefore differentiating with respect to x, we get answer dy by dx is equal to tan inverse 2 by 3 derivative 0 minus derivative of e raised to x is e raised to x only. So answer is minus e raised to x. Derivative is minus e raised to x. If you see in the book, the answer is e raised to x. So let me explain what it is. In the book, if you check, the answer instead of minus e raised to x, the answer is e raised to x. And how does that happen? The key is these all steps remain the same. Here we read the formula as cos A cos B. This was A and this was B while reading. I may read this as cos A into cos B plus sin A into sin B. Understood? So if you read this like this, cos A cos B plus sin A sin B, you get this. But if you read it as cos A cos B from here to here plus sin A sin B, then your A is e raised to x and B is alpha. So this will be written as cos inverse of e raised to x minus alpha, and that means it will be equal to just e raised to x minus alpha, which means e raised to x minus what is alpha? Alpha is tan inverse of, that's not a big issue, but then you will get this is y, and differentiating that you will get e raised to x minus 0. So you get the answer e raised to x by making this change. Means don't read it as cos alpha cos e raised to x. Read it as cos e raised to x cos a alpha minus sin e raised to x, plus sin e raised to x sin alpha. There is no harm doing that. So both answers I think are alright. So you may write like this also. Another important thing is you will be confused which one is correct then. What will happen in the exams. So just focus on this expression. We know that cos of minus theta is equal to, you must know this, cos of minus theta is equal to just cos theta. That means cos of A minus B is equal to cos of B minus A also. So you may read this cos of alpha minus e raised to x as cos of e raised to x minus alpha. They are valid. These two are the same. And therefore the answers should be acceptable. Both answers, e raised to x and e raised to minus x, both answers must be acceptable. So practice these kind of examples and I'm sure you'll be happy to answer such questions. So in this manner, today we discussed the questions on differentiation of the functions like this: cos inverse of or sin inverse of a cos x plus b sin x divided by root a square by b square. We take a upon root as the sin alpha or cos alpha, and then b upon root becomes the other thing. If you put a upon root as sin alpha, b upon root will become cos alpha. The choice has to be made properly, and that way we answer such examples, such questions. Thank you.